Yo, what is up everybody? It's Psai. Welcome to another video. So I got a really special deck profile today. It's Psy-frames with Assault mode. You guys are not ready for this list. Shout out to the cameraman. Very awesome artist. You know, fresh haircut Charlie, as you guys have seen on the channel. But let's go ahead and get into this 44 card list. It was performing great all day. Go ahead and check out the 2 duels that I have with this deck that I posted on the channel already. Alright, so for the Psy-frame package, we played 1 Psy-frame Gear Gamma, 3 Delta, shout out to the OTS pack, thank you Konami, 3 Alpha, 1 Epsilon, and then 1 Beta. So these are the main names that special summon from hand. Real quick, negate and destroy monster, negate and destroy spell, special summon and search, negate and destroy trap, and battle fader, but also destroys. So pretty cool suite of monsters. There's this one special one that can special summon itself from grave, and it's also treated as a driver. It's basically your 4th copy of driver, because you need to see driver. We play 3 driver. So that is basically the monsters for the Psy-frame package. You definitely want to open up with at least one of those. Next up is the Assault mode package. So we start with Assault Sentinel. This is your Lone Fire Blossom. This special summons from deck by tributing itself. You special summon the Psy Reflector, which searches anything in the engine. You do play 1 Assault Beast in case you have to start off with this, because you do need something that you can bring back to actually synchro summon for your level 7 through 9 monsters. And then finally, the payoff. The payoff is the Assault mode activating on our Assault Stardust Dragon. So this is an Omni Negate. You contribute it from the field as cost to negate anything, a monster, spell, or a trap. And then it comes back, special summons itself during the end phase. So that's the payoff. Alright, so generic hand traps, I do play Ash Blossom. I feel like it's a very good supplementation to the rest of the Psy-frame package. If you hit them with like a Gamma or a Delta and an Ash, it usually ends their turn. So that's all the monsters. Next up, spells. So consistency. Fire Formation Tanky is at 3, but you have so many other ways to get to your Assault Beast that you don't really need to do anything except just search 1. So you have like 7 normal summons, which is really honestly too much, because this is the Beast Warrior that you're searching off of Fire Formation Tanky. Just consistency boost. More consistency, we have got 1 for 1 to summon your Psy Reflector, and then 3 emergency teleport to summon your Psy Reflector. You could also mix this with like a punk package or something like that. It would probably make it even better. But I wanted to specifically try this deck because Team Bad Cards told me to. Next up, Psy-frame Circuit. So this is the field spell for the Psy-frame archetype. If it's on the field and you activate one of your effects during your opponent's turn, you get to quick synchro summon. So you Gamma them, you special summon your level 2 tuner and your level 6 monster, you synchro summon immediately for a level 8, which is broken because you can synchro summon for Psy-frame Lower Omega, which will leave the field, turning on all the rest of your Psy-frame cards. So this is the heart and soul of the Psy-frame engine. Last spell is 2 Foolish Burial Goods. This is a consistency card. We'll speak about it a little bit later. Next up, we've got the traps. So there's a lot of traps actually. 2 Metaverse. That's how important the field spell is. You want to use Metaverse. Shout out to 3 hand trap full combo David Montoya. He told me, why don't you play Chicken Game? And I was like, dang, Chicken Game would have saved my life if I had played it. But I don't play it. So think about playing Chicken Game with this card. Next up, Torrential Tribute. Most of the time, you don't have monsters on the field, and if your opponent's pushing past your board, if you already tributed everything off, or use Omega to remove itself from the field, you can just destroy the rest of their monsters. Trap Trick, it can either access the field spell or threaten their board with the Torrential Tribute, or the final trap, I'll get to that in a second. Oh, just dropped my card. Alright, the trap for the Psy-frame engine is Psy-frame Overload. This card on the field can send a Psy-frame monster from your hand or field to the banish zone to target a card on the field and banish it face down. So this is great removal. This is basically your back removal for the deck. And then in addition to that, if it's in the graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish it to search any Psy-frame monster, which is really broken. Final trap is Assault mode activate. So this is what your what your Psy reflector is going to search for you, and you activate it, you tribute your Stardust Dragon, and you special summon your boss monster, Assault Mode. Alright, so that's the 44 card main deck. Extra deck, we do have the Psy-frame monsters. We have 2 Psy-frame Zeta. So this is the one that you summon off of your level 1 and your level 6s. So the Battle Fader and the Searcher. And this banishes a special summoned monster that your opponent controls. I believe it has to be in attack position for it to work, but it can really start to crack your opponent's board and clear things. 1 Psy-frame Lord Omega. Sorry, Konami. I don't know why you do this to me. This is only at 1, so you can only play 1. Really unfortunate. But we do have 2 Stardust Dragons to special summon our boss monster. I love the rarity. I like the QCR. Thanks, Konami. And then for the rest of the synchros, we got Black Rose Dragon, Moonlight, and Cyber's Quantum, just for our utility for our 7s. And then finally FA Dawn Dragster. And then for the 8, we do have another 8 XL Synchro Stardust Dragon. You can use this to actually climb up into your level 9s, which I'll show you right now. Stellar Wind Wolf. This can, once it gains enough attack, it can just like tribute the entire opponent's board, which is insane. And then Vermilion Dragon Mech. This can recycle your Psy-frame cards and pop a card in the field, which is really nice. Finally, Link monsters. So obviously we have to run Psy-frame Lord Lambda. This card makes it such that you can activate your Psy-frame effects in your hand, even if you control another monster, which kind of gets around the whole gimmick. So you can activate Gamma even if you have a full board sitting next to it, which is really awesome. This combined with the field spell is broken. Also, if a psychic monster is banished on the field while this is on the field, during the end phase, you get to go ahead and search any Psy-frame card, which is broken. And then finally, Shots Team Bad cards for SP Little Knight. This should be in every extra deck on the planet, except for branded extra decks. All right, finally, real quick side deck. Pinkertops works because it tributes itself from the field. Epsilon, if you're facing a trap deck, you want to have more trap negation. You do main deck the one that you can search, but this is really good going into a floodgate board. If you know your opponent's trying to set a bunch of floodgates and they shotgun them, you can chain this, special summon 2 bodies, and negate and destroy that trap, which is really broken. Speaking of those trap decks, just get them out of here. Get them out of here. All right, now, this is called Psychic Field Zone. It's not necessarily a Psy-frame card, but it's a great going second card in this deck because say you draw your Gamma and you negate and destroy something of your opponent's, and they know that those cards will get banished at the end of the turn. You just let them get banished. This card actually returns both of them to the graveyard and special summons your Omega from your extra deck, which is broken. So that's really good for going second. 3 Imperm is just generically good. You can set it off of Trap Trick or whatever. Speaking of Trap Trick, D-Barrier is really nice. Skill Drain. So the Assault Mode monsters tribute themselves for cost, so they completely get around Skill Drain, kind of like the Snake Eyes monsters, but not nearly as good. So the 1 Skill Drain is pretty nice. And then finally, Synchro Zone. I realized in tournament how broken this card was. So the one effect that I was concentrating on was that only Synchro monsters can attack. I didn't realize that this was a quick effect Synchro. You send this to the graveyard and you can Synchro summon during your opponent's turn. This is extra copies of the field spell. So definitely find space in your main deck for this. This card's insane. And then if you're facing a Synchro match, just side it out. But like this card is absolutely cracked. But that was the Psy-frame Assault Mode deck profile. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more.